Welcome to ISE's Equity Index Weekly Outlook, a weekly outlook on ISE and other industry indexes, hosted by Patrick Ceresna, a derivative market specialist and investment manager with extensive expertise in options and the broader derivative markets. ISE trades options on more than 15 proprietary sector indexes, as well as broad-based indexes and a variety of licensed benchmarks. ISE continually enhances its trading systems and develops new index options products to provide investors with the best marketplace and investment tools to trade smarter.
Hello and welcome to the ISE Equity Index Outlook for August 15th, 2011. This is Patrick Ceresna. As always, we start off with a chart of the S&P 500 using that SPDR exchange traded fund symbol SPY. The markets over the last 2 weeks have shown some of the most extreme volatility we have seen since some of the crashes in 2008 and 1987. The drop was very significant, and we saw last week have numerous huge swings higher and lower as the bulls and the bears are sorting out whether this is a battle line or support line that's going to be held. The printed low on the SPY came around that 110, 111 mark on the downside, and subsequently have seen a retracement now work its way all the way up to about 118. There's room during these types of market drops for the bounce to actually make it even as high as the 122, even 124 areas on the upside, but by no means is this extreme volatility over. While there is certainly room this week for there to be follow through on this bounce and see even rallies of even another 4 to 6 spider points on the upside, there is room for the SPY to still have another significant sell-off going into the month of September. So we'll be we believe that strong and intense volatility will be the name of the game. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE U.S. Regional Banks Index, which is a symbol JLO, and we've seen outright the bottom fall out of the regional banks as they've now worked their way all the way and banging a short-term low at the 1750.18 focal point, forcing us to adjust that focal point on the downside. Really, at this stage, there continues to be predominant weakness coming from regional banks, and while the whole market looks like to be bouncing, particularly certain names in technology and so on, the regional banks continue to fight near their lows, and while there's room for the S&P to bounce considerably, I would be skeptical about any sustained rally that even probably makes it as high as the 2021 area on the upside. We may very well see a rally up to that kind of a level, but I would fully expect it to reject off of any rally of maybe 1 or 2 points higher. Next year, I want to take a look at the ISE Index, which is a symbol SIN. This is an index of all the casino, tobacco, and distiller companies, and this index looked very bullish a few weeks ago, and then just off that overhead resistance level around that 142, 143 area, the bottom gave out with the whole market and the fear-mongering that came along with it, and subsequently I saw a drop that gave out even the lows of March down to this 115 area, where the initial bounces are occurring. This index should bounce relatively well with the S&P 500. So if the S&P 500 does make it back to 122 to 126, we should see a healthy move all the way up to even 128, 130 on the upside, maybe even a little bit higher. But we would be looking for that market to come back and solidly retest the lows, even if there is some short-term strength. Next year, I want to take a look at the Home Builders Index, which is a symbol RUF, and the Home Builders just took another significant drop to and broke a key technical level at that $7 area, and subsequently we have not seen any bounces of significance here at the Home Builders whatsoever. This, just like the regional banks, does not bode well for this index, and while there's certainly room for a bounce easily back to the 7,720 area, after some further short-term strength, there's plenty of room for this index to roll over again and sell back down to its lows, if not lower. Next year, I want to take a look at that ISE Natural Gas Index, which is symbol FUM, and we're getting a little bit of a bounce after that significant reversal on the Nat Gas Index. There, just like the Sindex, this one has room to rally even back up towards the 124, 126 area on the upside. But like all of the stories on the indices, once we have some sort of a good solid bounce higher and test some of the overhead resistance levels, we do fully expect all these indices to roll over and have another wave of selling at some juncture. Finally, I want to take a look at that ISE Mini FTSE 100 Index, which is a symbol UKX, and as well, we saw a very significant drop that temporarily broke the 510 level on the downside, forcing us to adjust our focal point to the 500, 510 area, just to define those where the bottoms came in. There's obviously room for this to bounce, just like the S&P 500, and we could see on the primary FTSE a move 540, 550. Even as high as 560 on the upside, but just like we are looking for all the other indices, probably after another week or two of rallying, we do expect them to roll over into another wave of selling at some juncture. That was your ISE Equity Index Outlook. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. For more information about Patrick Ceresna and to sign up for free index options trade alerts, visit www.optionsource.net. To learn more about ISE index options, visit us at www.ise.com/indexoptions.